Well, the tragic accident at the nuclear power plant in Chernobyl 19 years ago continues to have health repercussions. In one case, it affected a family where the father developed cancer and a daughter was born with a deforming birth defect. But that's about to change. Normally, a child in a hospital bed is part of a sad story. And in fact, this story starts out very sad for Ganna Rybalka, a beautiful young girl from the Ukraine.
She saw all the kids playing and frolicking, and she couldn't join them in the children's games. And it was very hard for her to, as she was growing with this, knowing that it was going to get worse and worse.
What was going to get worse for Ganna was her scoliosis. You only get a hint of it in these pictures. Her x-rays show how dramatic her spinal curvature really is. Even sadder is that doctors believe her scoliosis was caused by exposure to radiation from the nuclear accident at Chernobyl. Her father was a cleanup worker and inadvertently exposed Ganna in the womb.
As a result of the scoliosis, the chest cavity, the lungs, the heart can be stressed, and if not treated, one can have severe restrictive lung disease.
But now Ganna's story takes a turn for the better. Thanks to healing the children in St. Joseph's Medical Center in Paterson, New Jersey, Ganna is going to have her scoliosis surgically corrected. But this is not a simple operation. In fact, it runs the risk of actually paralyzing Ganna.
The challenge is that obviously the spinal cord is within these vertebral bodies, and by straightening the spine out, you can stretch the spinal cord and cause serious spinal cord injuries.
It takes 2 8-hour operations, one from the front and one from the back, to release, straighten, and fuse Ganna's spine with lots of hardware. But just a few weeks later, this is Ganna. Her back is straight. But she still has a little trouble walking because she also has a hip problem from the radiation. Still, she is happy and grateful.
She became much happier. She became taller. She's much more full of happiness than she was before.
Let me see that big smile again. Ah, I love that smile. That's beautiful. You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
She's learning English. Now, Ganna's father couldn't come for her surgery because he developed thyroid cancer as a result of his radiation exposure. Now, when Ganna heals a little more, she'll have surgery to correct her hip problem, and she plans to go back to school and finally play with her friends. Oh, and she also said that she's going to tell sick kids back in Ukraine that there is hope for them back here in the United States. And she was very thankful and wants to thank everybody in the States for everything they've done for her so far.
Well, it is refreshing to see a positive story.
Yeah, she's going to be okay, and she's a great kid, too.
She looks it. Thank you, Max.